Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour. Host Kelly Brickel is a psychic medium healer, numerologist, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether it's through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there's always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour, Kelly Brickel.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Psychic Hour for today on WLTK-DB, Let's Talk Radio. I'm Kelly Brickel, and we're doing the reading show today. Hello, everybody. And yes, so a little bit later in the show, pop down your birth date to go into numerology readings. You can pop down your question, whether I'm feeling into the energy or pulling a card. These are mini readings, and it's just to share gifts and to uplift and to have encouragement and positivity. So, why wouldn't you want to do something like that? That's what I say when I put together the show. Why wouldn't you want to just share your gifts and be positive? So, if you'd like to be a part of that, just pop your name down and then you say, "Hey, I want a reading." And we'll do that in a little bit. We always talk about like spirituality first, like an inspirational topic. Or if you have questions too about your own spiritual development, we dive into that too a little bit before we go into readings. So, what was really kind of tugging at me today was following your energy, where like spirit has led you with your whole life. And that's always in not just one direction. I'm going to say it like that. Of course, we have like these great pulls, and of course sometimes you know what you want to build on and be like, "Hey, I really need to be here around these people, or I really need to put time and effort into this part of my life." Sure, you have those massive feelings at times, but you're always going to have like a diverse amount of interests. Now, that could be, 50 for some people, the Gemini energy out there. They just can't sit still. They're always learning. Or it could be like, a handful, like 3 or 5. And I do see within people who feel very free and feel very flowing that they're engaging their multiple natural talents or interests on an ongoing basis. Like, some people, I had a friend growing up, like always drawing like fashion, like new dresses, very like artistic, right? And that was an outlet of her creative energy, of her spiritual energy. Like other friends, I had a lot of very artistic friends growing up. They would draw like comics, or they would draw their own characters, or they would write their own stories, and it made them very happy. It like sparked who they were. Like other friends, like they were skateboarding or doing tricks with their whether it was skates or whatever they had around, really. They were just more physical with their outlets. Some people have very physical outlets, some people have very creative or mental outlets. There's some people who do math for fun. Hey, that's a part of your outlet. Whether it's sewing or whether it's being a healer, even maybe that is an outlet for some people. Maybe they have a foremost passion, but they love healing, and it makes them feel like $1,000,000 every time they're doing healing. So it's like, what is in the forefront, or what is flanking it? And sometimes what flanks our forefront does step into the forefront at various places within our lives. That's very true. That's very real. But it's really important to cultivate these different sides of us. Like, I love writing. Sure, I don't always put in the adequate time for myself to write, but you can better believe throughout the week I'm writing ideas. I'm always writing something down. I'm always putting things together with like words. And so writing is an active part of my life. And I go, "Oh, I'd wish I'd have a little bit more time for this." I do feel that natural call and that natural identification of self. But I'm using it every week to create. So a part of my soul is very much satisfied. I don't feel depletion always in that area. Um, I definitely love to cook. I talk about that from time to time on the show. I love to cook. And definitely the context sometimes, because if you're cooking, just at the same time every day, that can get a little bit mundane. I'm going to be honest. But I love trying new recipes, or I just love cooking for different people, making them happy, or just cooking for my family. It makes me very happy to see my family happy. And that is a part of my soul that gets expressed. And when part of our soul gets expressed, we get energy back to us. And that's so important because in life, of course, we want these things to be validated, to be loved, that our efforts are worth it, of course. But when we are engaging in things that make our spirit happy and ignite our joy, the efforts are always worth it because we're always engaged with something that's relevant, of our interests, opens up our soul, makes us feel more alive, enhances what we're naturally good at, enhances understandings. Like it just naturally fits. It's not just about finding a new skill or something to distract us or something, like, well, I guess I like it. Yeah, sure, you guess you like it, but there's certain things that just make us happy, like, I have a cousin that loves photography, and that's part of, what makes her so happy. Just there's just so many things. Um, Whether it's something obvious or not obvious, explore it. Understand that part about yourself. Whether it's a side hobby or a job or an exchange or something that you can do more of with a friend, it's really, really important. And there's these moments in life that help define that for us, whether we knew that about our soul or whether it comes through by accident. Like I remember growing up, my cousin and I, we wanted to just like, I don't know, do something fun. So we were like challenging each other to do poetry and or like some type of like word, right? Like play and stuff like that because we loved words. And we were creative with our words. And I just remember thinking like, okay, this is cool, this is fun. And as I was doing it, I realized that I was really good at it naturally and it was super fun and it brought out this energy in me. And so I didn't know that about myself prior, but now, like this is like 20 years later, right? Um, I know that about myself, even though I found that out 20 years ago. And it's a part of me that was activated that I just go, yeah, this is a part of myself. This is a talent. This is something that makes me happy. And it never went away because it was the truth. Okay. It was just the truth. And, I'm talking about cousins a lot today. With like another cousin, um, he had like angel cards or tarot cards. I had never been exposed to them prior to that. And I remember, just like playing around with them and just like learning about how to read. It was about reading energy. And we'd practice reading each other. And I was like, wow, like I didn't know this is so fun. This is so fun. This is just something I'd always like to do just for fun if you had someone, that you trusted. Yes, it's a different capacity when you are actually doing it professionally, but like when you share in that space where you can share your spirituality or share your insight with like a family member or loved one, as long as you have that trust, it's a very um like in depth and loving and opening experience. And it's just, it provides so much information and encouragement. So it's just a beautiful thing. And it ignited a part of my soul. So I know within me when I need more energy, I try to ignite my healing abilities. I try to ignite my cooking abilities. I try to ignite my writing abilities. Sometimes I'll get back into art. And all of these ignite healing, but sometimes I'll just directly work with energetic healing to ignite my healing because that actually makes me very happy too. But all of these ignite your healing, all of these ignite your activation of your power of how you utilize and can utilize your energy. If we feel like frustrated, if we feel, um, you know, just overwhelmed or lonely, confused. There's all these different emotions that we feel as humans when we're like, gosh, this isn't right. Okay. Well, when we ignite our spirit and enact our spirit, usually it's some type of reminder of who we are. So having these abilities that we already know about and we go, I'm actually really awesome at this, or this makes me really happy when I do that. When you get into that energy, it just naturally opens up the space. Um, and I just think it's so important to talk about reminders like that when you are activating your energy, and also reminders in the capacity where some of the happiest people that I see are people that are igniting these different parts of themselves on an active basis. Whether they, again, love tennis and they make time for tennis, whether they love exercise, yes, it's about health, sure, but it's about what they really like to be doing actively, you know, whether they're like taking singing lessons because they've always loved, musical theater, whether they are rock climbing because they need that physical stimulation, right? It's just a well rounded life really is something that speaks volumes when you see the energy on people and you go, wow, like whatever you're doing, it's really working. And people, feel like they're like, I'm living my life. I'm living my life. That doesn't mean they don't want, that doesn't mean they don't desire, that doesn't mean everything is checkboxed. It just means that a part of them is being validated. A part of them is being expressed. And that is something that they have flow in. And it helps to promote flow in other areas, belief, hope, and just fun while you're figuring it out. I do think sometimes we forget to have fun in life. We are on Earth, and Earth is not just about fun, but it is still about fun. There's not the absence of it here on earth. It's just we're going to be dealing with multiple things. And so we should in turn actually have a multifaceted life because life is so different with what it can provide us. So it shouldn't just be like, I like life or I don't like life. I don't want this for my life, or here's specifically what I do want for my life. It actually should have a lot of different textures, experiences, and as maybe we don't have exactly what we want, we have a lot of what we want still at the same time, because that's very, very possible. Where these old eternal souls with so many different ideas, so many different knowings, we all have these deep knowings. And life right in front of us makes us go, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But we have so many I knows. We have so many I knows. And to activate those while the I don't knows are getting hashed out, to activate the I knows so we feel powerful and we feel inspired as we're navigating the I don't knows. That's what makes, I think, life incredibly healing on another level. So I'm going to start looking around if there's any questions, and then we'll go into readings in a second. Courtney says creativity is through the roof right now. Awesome. That is awesome. That lets you know you're in your spirit. Like creativity just, it's creation, right? It just oozes forth more. Like I could do that, I could do that, or this is cool, that is cool. And it's a great vibration. It's a great vibration. We're made to co-create in this life. So you are, you know, just effervescent in your beautiful creation energy. I love it. Let's see. Let's see. People are asking for readings, so that's cool. We'll get into that in a sec. Someone says, "Hello, Kelly. It's my first day out locally with my food trailer. It wasn't a great start." Okay, this is with reading territory. Okay, everyone's in the mood for some readings. Okay, well, I guess away we go with some of that. If you could please, because I am doing numerology readings as well. If you could please pop down your birth date, that would be write out your month, because that make sure for me that I don't mix up your day and your month, because in the UK and Australia, they do it backwards than in the United States. So write out your month, write out your day, and then write out your year. But write out your month in a word, please. That just helps me. Um, I just go with what I feel. So unless you ask specifically for a numerology reading or a card reading or something like that, I just go into what I feel or what I just naturally choose. But please, yes, pop down your birth date, and that's how I dive into numerology, and that gives me a lot of energy information when I'm reading your question. And it's honestly a really nice way to dive in when we have these shorter readings. Okay, so I'm just going to be looking around. Let's see here. So, all right. Michelle is saying she'd like a reading, maybe specific to love, but if not possible, that okay, so general or looking at love. And then Michelle gave me some of her numbers. So thank you. All right. Just doing some math here. So Michelle, you are a personal day 7. You are a attitude 3. And you are a cycle 1. Okay. So this is great because if you are talking about love, when we're in a cycle 1, we have an invitation to do things incredibly differently than we've ever done in our life. We might find ourselves wanting different things or creating an ultimatum with ourselves. Self like, hey, not this is not something that I want to continue, or this is something that I know that I need for myself. So you start actually putting new expectations on yourself or making sure that they are real this time, because it's not just in your imagination, right? It's not just something you want, it's something that you need. And so that cycle 1 goes, okay, new rules, new time, let's do it. It does force you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, who am I? And I know what I need, but I need to like actually live my life differently. Okay. And so there's that motivation and push for that. So know if there's like an obstacle at play with love life or other things going on, it just invites you to have new belief systems and new behavior, new action. Okay. And you have the energy to actually implement that actually easier than you ever have in your life, because you're in a new place and you're in a start of a new cycle. So I just want to give you kind of some validation with that and enthusiasm with that. With your attitude 3, so in a relationship, and relationships are about, how we share energy. And with love relationships, yes, there's like an added layer to that, absolutely, because you're sharing a life. But all relationships have to work, whether it's like a work relationship, a friendship. There's an aspect that makes them work, and of course they're enhanced in love. And you're an attitude 3, so whether or not it's a romantic relationship or someone you connect with, just because this is important to talk about. If you find yourself like actually not speaking much, if you find yourself like not sharing your ideas, and kind of holding back what's on your mind, that is a red flag for you personally, because you at your healthiest, in the healthiest relationship that you can find for yourself, especially in a romantic one, you naturally have to want to talk. You naturally have to kind of want to just share, because I say that because your numbers will showcase that you are the happiest. When you find a kindred soul, you can like talk on the phone with them for hours and just be like, this is awesome. But sometimes attitude 3s, they hold back because they're not in the right space, or they're not with the right people to just let themselves talk and be free. So that's a huge clue if your energy feels at home and if your energy feels healthy. Now, sometimes there is fear. And so if you feel someone is a really good fit within your life, you have to then do a little bit of work where you push yourself out of your comfort zone and see what happens. If there's still results where you're like, I'm not comfortable around this person, or why am I so nervous? Then, yeah, maybe it's not the right time, the best person. Okay. Time means everything in relationships. But if you feel like just very naturally talkative and naturally like, hey, I can share my ideas and myself, that's a huge, huge like green light. Okay. So I want to give that to you, and you'll just know that by the energy. So whether you're inspired to share yourself more because you're like, hey, I really like this person, or that happens naturally, that's a green light with people who are coming your way and these new terms that you're going to put into your relationships. Okay. That is coming out first and foremost. And I just really want to say here, I'm going to pull a card too in conjunction with it. Okay. Um, okay. I do feel like with relationship too as well. Sometimes we want emphasis on areas in our life because other areas in our life are like head scratchers. So we just go, hey, I'd kind of like to pivot and to have some healing and to have some nice things in some other categories of my life. Like, let's look at enhancing love. And really, like, I'm being shown too, it's so important right now that you're going into your spirituality. It's so important that you're going into your development of self. Because I'm getting this card unraveling the mystery. And it's in a placement where you're not seeing things quite how they seem. It's like, there's like that dreamer energy. And then also there are like question marks in connection to that over like career and what you're doing within your life. And like, am I really happy with my career? And am I really paying attention to what I want to self activate in life? And some of those things have to be rectified. And once those things are rectified more, you're going to find somebody who's more on your equal plane level. Because when we're searching, or when we are kind of, I guess, overwhelmed in life and we're like, I'd like something different, I don't prefer what I have quite right now. What happens is you attract sometimes other people who are like, don't really love what's in front of me. I'd rather have this right now. And so both of you are coming from an area of escaping what's kind of around you, and you kind of like trauma bond, really. You trauma bond to go, I don't like this. I don't like that. Like, let's escape this together and build a life. When in actuality, the healthiest form is, I'm working on building my life. This is what I want, and I'm trying to go get it. And same within my relationship. I know what I want and I'm trying to get that. Okay. So, and to attract a partner that is present and, hey, I know what I want in life. And so I'm active with it. And so that means they're more active in relationships. When things hit the fan, they're more active with how they work with their energy. They're more present. And so that's what I'm putting out. As I read relationship within kind of numerology with needs, and also what's coming forth in the cards in general. So I hope that gives you some insight, Michelle. And let's see who we are. Okay, Angela. Oh, thank you, Angela. Let's see, Angela. Okay, she put down her birthday. Excellent. Okay, cool. 8/22, 1982. And so you're an attitude 3 as well. So what I've said with Michelle, anything with the attitude 3 can apply with you too. Um Angela, or anyone who does have an attitude 3. It's kind of fantastic with numerology like that. At least with the bare bones of it, the symbology and the archetype really does transcend. So let's see here. And then you are a personal day 4. And then you are a life path 2. Excellent. And you are in a cycle of 1 as well. And so with Angela, okay. And what I said with a cycle within the cycle 1 for Michelle as well, that can be applied for you. You have some similar numbers actually. That's really cool. So I kind of talked about, I'll reiterate just for a second. Like this is a year of new possibility. Okay. It's been coming for a long time, and the energy has really shifted at the end of last year into this year. So it's like I said, new rules. But you'll be confronted at times with like, can I have this? How's this going? Right. But the enthusiasm is there. And I do feel like for you, with what I'm seeing, like work too is really coming into the forefront. Like, I want something different. What can I create? And I just feel like there's this ambition level. So you're actively pursuing, you're actively trying on kind of these different ways of being. And so it's good. It feels good. It feels like you're on the ball. That's what I'm feeling like. You're very on the ball with assessing, okay, what is my next move? I like that. That's good. Um, and so your personal day energy, you have this 4. Okay. And 4 always seems like they are capable, steady. When they are interviewing, they usually get the job because they just seem very reliable and capable. And with that too, you also have in the placement, life path, life path, tongue twisters, life path placement. It just showcases that you're very much like a very positive person when it comes to other people. Like you go above and beyond for people. You're a hard worker. You just have to feel like you're in an environment that supports your energy. And that could be like in very, very subtle ways. Like you just like the energy of the building. You just like the energy of like, because people are happy around you. You don't even have to have these special relationships or like these special caveats of why your job like really supports you. It's all these little things where you're just like, that just happens to work for me. That just happens to work for me. And if you don't have those things, like if you ever walk into a building, if you're ever you're around people, and again, you wouldn't have to spend much time with these people to know it's not a logical thing, it's a feeling thing, and you feel yourself drained, that's a sign you got to get out of there. Even if it's the most positive place, your energy just doesn't support you there. So I know that you've had experiences like that. So I'm just validating that for you and continuing to let you know that you're so intuitive with how things register in your body. So if you ever feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like my vibe is very strong here. I don't feel like I have a lot of energy to put into my work for whatever reason. That is a sign that something is awry with the people around you, with the building. If it's not just you, because you'll know it's not just you. Um, and that is something that comes into play a lot with life path 2 energy. You'll always be absorbing other people's energy. So it's very important to know to a certain extent what you're absorbing and really feeling like if that is conducive to who you are as a person. Okay. So you have these new energies at play where you can just most freely be you. I just told you you're a life path 2. You're actually a life path 5. What am I doing with my life? Okay, you're a life path 5. So some of that maybe can apply, and if it doesn't scratch that, I just noticed I did the math wrong. That's what happens sometimes when you go too fast. Okay, so you're a life path forgive me on that. Okay, Angela, forgive me on that. You're a life path 5. Okay, you're a life path 5. And so I'm going to say to you like this. You're made to move. You're made to be curious. You're made to actually have things not tie you down. You have to explore. You have to be free. Okay. So, within the work, it's going to register a little bit differently than when I said, but you're going to feel like as a life path 5, you're going to feel like this itch. Like, hey, I feel like I have to move. I feel like these people don't vibe with me. You're going to feel like that itch that you just have to get up and go and do your next thing. And that's okay. That's good. In fact, in this time within life, It's actually supported if you are jumping ship a little bit more within jobs because you're building experience, you're building actually your salary. It works more so in this type of time within the economy and the jobs and how people are hired. Okay. So, but what I'm trying to say within that is your life path 5, you're made to just be really in touch with how things feel, and they have to feel fun, and you have to be like spontaneous and excited when you approach things. So when I talked about life path 2, so that doesn't apply to you as much, and maybe some things I said just naturally did, because it's funny how energy works like that. But within this category, you're much more just spontaneously inspired with what you're doing with your body. You know, you might find that you're jittery, you might find that you're bored, you might find that you fidget a lot. And that's letting you know that some of the energy that you're working with on this career level is not being utilized fully because it's being dispersed. So if you ever feel restless, it's time to channel more energy into what is in front of you, or to know, hey, it's time to steer again because I have all this energy ready to go, and I'm fidgeting again. And so it's time to turn into something that really excites me. So embrace the spontaneity. That's what I'm getting. And really just trust your gut. And you're really good around people naturally. Like, you make people feel like laugh. You have a great sense of humor, and you really can, again, infuse people with a bunch of positive energy. Um, Try to be in the forefront so you can be people's cheerleaders. Try to be in a position where you're not taking on too much responsibility with people. It's more about leading, having fun, and just having a good time with those around you, as well as, helping people lift up those missing pieces. I feel like you're really good at that. Like, you're really good with just damage control and being like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. As long as you're present, you kind of just lift people up and can go really fast and help them in all the areas that they're kind of like, oh, I'm not sure about this, I'm not sure about that. So I'm giving that to you, Angela. And I'm glad you can acknowledge feeling the itch. And thank you for your patience with that life path little glitch for a second. Um, but yeah, that sweet freedom theme is always going to be persistent in your life, where you need that freedom to not feel unconstricted. Um, let's see. She sees way more comments. How she? Oh, cool. That's very nice. That's very nice. Some of your, let's see, trying to see. Okay, it resonates. I'm glad it resonates. Some of the comments during at the bottom are like folding on top of each other. So I'm trying to make sure I read everything. Okay. Let's go. Let's jump to another one. Okay. Let me see. Where so we got right, so pulling for Dawn Marie. I'd love some insight into my career. All right, let me look if she popped down. Okay. I just go where I'm pulled, and I was pulled to Dawn. So here we go. All right. So Dawn, she loves some insight into her career. Mm-hmm. Just pulling some cards. Okay, well, first off, I'm getting for Dawn is she's very much a giver. And some of the cool things coming forth with just based on that is I got like these pops of pink, like all this pink energy, like different shades of pink. And it was about like kind of falling in love with your job, like falling in love. And because you're such a giver, and you go above and beyond that, if you're in that place within your job, it is fully supported because you feel like this is where I need to be. This is where I need to be. So, what I'm trying to say is, I actually don't think you need to be pushing yourself finding something. I'm getting that too. Like, there's too much pressure. There's too much, like, I need to find something. I need to do something. Let me find something that looks good. And of course, we always should be looking and pushing ourselves to a certain degree, but it's letting me know that you actually can find something, but don't push yourself to find it, because I just feel like your resume is good. I feel like, again, you give people your all. So you're a valued commodity. Look at yourself as a valued commodity, and that, you have multiple options. And don't put your pressure on yourself just because, like, time's a ticking, and you need to be practical with a check and everything. I feel like in this case, like, it's okay that time's a ticking. Use that time to really, you know, lock in to what is of highest good to you. Really lock in to going, do I really want this? Should I really be taking this? Yes, this is a good option. Yes, but does it really sit well with me? And getting more picky and choosy. That's what I want for you. I want you to get more picky and choosy, because when someone's a hot commodity, when someone has a lot to give, they have the right to be more picky and choosy. And I just feel like I'm getting these strong messages for you, like, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. Even if things are good, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. Go for great, go for awesome, go for, oh, I can't believe I got this. Go for some of those. Go for some of those, like, opportunities where you're like, I'm gonna apply. I'm gonna try this. This is something I normally wouldn't do, but this is actually something I would love to do. And if I did get it, oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. I don't know if I can, but oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. So it's like, I need that level of how you're looking into your career, you're engaging with opportunities, how you're meeting people, how you're elevating yourself. This is a time to elevate yourself, right? I think that sometimes we don't always think about that. When we think about, like, promotions, we think about what's next. I want something more too, but we don't think about, how do I elevate myself as a person, where I go, oh yeah, I'm capable of this. So let's do something that gets me into that stratosphere. And it really opens up your spirit on the next level. And that's why, when you find a good job or a good career activator, it's not just about the career anymore. It's about how it activates your soul. Even if you're not doing super spiritual work, even, you know what I mean, like conventional spiritual work, even if you're doing something like, you could be working for a steel mill, but you could be around the best people ever, and they could have the best company where they just honor their people, and their platform is huge, and, like, whatever it is within that company, you get to be the best version of yourself, like, where you're just coordinating, networking with all these amazing people in town, or there's, like, charity involved with the company. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what that company is, even if it's a steel mill. If it gets you into a place where you're around great people and activating these awesome things, where you're living life for the better with people around you and for yourself. So I need you to go into those awesome environments and experiences for yourself. It's time to launch yourself in that capacity within your career. So I'm giving that, and I hope that makes sense. Dawn Marie. Um, Okay. Then Jennifer, it's my first day out locally with my food trailer. It wasn't a great start. I'm guessing that's like a food truck or something like that, or some type of market stand. Um, is this a sign my season isn't going well for me? Ah, that's tough. Jennifer, let me see if you pop down your numbers. That'd help me really get into that energy with the numbers, if you're still around, Jennifer. If not, that's fine. I'll just go in anyway. Let's see. Seeing if you're still around. No worries. Okay. So we'll go into what we can find. Okay. The first thing I do want to highlight, Jennifer, with your question is I feel like there's these peaks and valleys with the energy. Okay. I feel like you have a lot of really good energy. I feel like you're a people person. I feel like you can pull people to you. Um, but people like really feel it off of you. Um, and it's kind of funny. Sometimes like we have this lesson and karma, pieces that we work in life. And I guess this is what's coming through where people sometimes are so reactive to what we emotionally put out because, we have to do some healing in um being too concerned with how other people think about us. So we're concerned about how other people think on a certain level. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I want them to like me. It's just you're concerned with, are you making a good impression? You're concerned with, you want people to like what you do because you care so much about your product, right? It's like back to that. And so since we care so much, you know, it's like amplified within our energy where the other person can feel it coming off of us, and they're like, whoa, they're way too like dependent or expectant on wanting me to be a part of the experience, me to be a part of, the business. Like they can feel the want and that desire and that enthusiasm sometimes actually can detract people. It's weird like that, but it's about healing these parts of ourselves, healing these parts of ourselves where we just want people to understand why what we have is so good, because it could be a fantastic product. It could be, put your heart and soul into it. Could be like you're radiating positive energy, but you want somebody to understand that so badly that that want and that desire actually will repel people, because all they want to do is just show up and be free in their energy and be like, what do you have? Like, this looks interesting, what do you have? But the foremost feeling they're feeling is the want and the desire for them to know how awesome this is. Okay. So there's some of that karma and healing that has to come into place with that. That's really being highlighted. I do think like there's these peaks and valleys of energy that I talked about in the beginning, where there's so much enthusiasm that you have. And it's almost like you put so much pressure on yourself because of that, because that high enthusiasm, it can attract people because energy is so positive and high, but it's like that shouldn't be what's attracting people. It should just be naturally, I have a great product. I'm very happy about this, and I'm working hard and I'm putting my love, my blood, sweat, and tears and passion into what is awesome. And it just is. And so you have this enormous responsibility to keep that energy load really, really super high. And you're like, if I have good energy, people will be attracted to this product. They'll be attracted to my vibe. And it's just like, whoa, stop putting that much pressure on yourself. Just, you know, just trust in, if this makes you happy, if this makes you whole, if you believe in this, focus on just making it the best you can, no matter if no one else gets it. Just show up, like, and continue to find the best place to sell from, the best people to be around, and the communities that really support you launching your product. Like, we can't do this alone. That's another part of the reason there's too much pressure on yourself. There has to be a community of people that help lift you up and showcase the awesomeness of your product. So work on just the beauty of your product and working on finding beautiful, good people. And a lot of this pressure and a lot of this deficit with your energy will even out. It takes a village. We can't do this all on our own. We can't do this all on our own. And so, again, your energy levels will even out and relax, and people actually will feel more zen and ease and have more just natural pull to the product and a natural pull to you, because there isn't that pressure in the air. Again, the pressure of, I want you to like it, a pressure of, I gotta be of this high standard, I gotta take on all this responsibility. There's a lot of that swirling around the products. just be in the zen of the awesomeness of who you are and the awesomeness of the product and find people that can help amplify that. Okay. That's what I'm getting. And I don't know if she's around, but that's what's coming really strong. So I give that to you, Jennifer. All right. Let's see here. Mikael Christopher Engdahl. Mikael Christopher Engdahl. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm looking for a reading regarding your son, and you've been having some spiritual experiences, ETs. Let me write down your birth date. Okay. So you want to know about son and the upcoming trial. Okay, I'll just let you know what I get. I'll just let you know what I get. So your attitude, we'll go into your energy first. Your attitude 1. Okay. And your personal day is 1 as well. How fun is that? And then you are a life path 9, I believe. Yep, that's right. 1. Yep. So okay, and then that would make you in a cycle of 8. Okay. So Mikkel, I definitely will say to you, so this year is, yes, it is a year where you're going to be dealing with a lot of hard truths. But the truth is the truth. Okay? So I'm going to say that the truth is the truth, and it's important that you're taking care of yourself during this time, because the 8 cycle that you're in, it deals with how you are experiencing energy within your body when reality is either at its best or at its worst. It's like, what is the response to that? Whether you feel your body breaking down or you feel your body becoming stronger and more focused so you can maintain the swings of what's going on with like personal relationships, with family, with the legal system. So there has to be this extra attention to health this year, because your body will break down with all this stress. So that's really, really important. You will be able to be a better support system. Your mind will be stronger if you are taking care of your health. And so this means better sleep, better eating habits, and really releasing all this pent up energy that you have. There's a lot of mental energy right now. And that is, I think, why you are getting so many experiences like the ET experiences and other spiritual experiences, because a lot of that energy is seen, felt, and heard, and it's in the upper chakras. And so, if we have too much energy in our upper chakras because we are in our mind, because we're like, how am I going to work with this? How am I going to deal with this? How am I going to survive? What happens is we're looking for messages, right? We're looking for guidance, and we're going to receive all that energy through our head. And so, we're going to get a lot of these really wild and multi-faceted experiences. They could be very positive and uplifting, or they could be actually very scary, or they could be just very like, whoa, that is something that I've never seen before. So if you're wondering why am I getting so much, is because of the stress and what is going on with life is promoting you to actually spend way more time in your head. Okay. And so this stuff's getting activated quite easily because you already have natural abilities. Okay. So grounding is really, really important right now. So you can be strong for your family, be strong for yourself, and so that your body doesn't break down and deteriorate. Um, get really in touch with nature, ground, feel the earth, make sure you're eating, make sure you're sleeping. Every function that has to do with your body, root it, ground it, honor it, protect it. It's sacred. So that's what's coming in. Also, you're in attitude 1. And so attitude 1s will know what is right for them. They're very strong people within who they are. And if something doesn't resonate with them, they'll be like, doesn't resonate with me. That's not working. And within this court case, really can't control the flow with how it's going. You can't, because you don't have the power and control in this situation. You have to let it play out. And that's very, very hard, and that's very, very taxing on your system. And so the number one thing you can do is to make sure that, again, you are strong and you're a warrior for your family in this situation. And things are going to play out based on another person's spiritual path, based on another person's spiritual lessons, based on how things ultimately are supposed to go. And you can do whatever you can within yourself to help give the most, I guess, positivity and the most encouragement to the situation, even though it's a very, very hard and difficult situation. Some things are out of our hands, or they're out of our hands for a certain period of time. So it doesn't mean like they're forever out of our hands, but for certain periods of time, some things are out of our hands. So the number one feeling that I'm really getting is you wish that you could have more influence in this situation. But it's kind of like there's this time frame in life where you have to kind of just sit back and take care of yourself. And since you will be able to do that, if you are, then you can give the proper time and attention to the people that you love without feeling broken. And you can help them after a certain time frame is over. So you'll be actually of high importance and high help at certain points in your son's life. It's just at this time, it's not as influential, and you have to forgive yourself for that. And you just have to be patient and care for yourself at this time while that is happening. So I'm going to just try to pull a card for you within this situation too, as well. Yeah, I got the health card. Really, really focus on your health. It's not about all or nothing. It's not about all or nothing. You can't give 100% to a situation that you don't have full control over. When some of these things are hashed out and some time moves past the situation, then you can give more time and attention. Then you can give more influence to what is going on with your family. And it's just, you got to pray and trust it's in a higher power's hands. You just got to pray and trust and continue with your spiritual strength and your spiritual health. And that is going to help guide the way, because right now there's a lot of things that are unseen. And you're just like, I want answers. I want clarity. I don't know this is how it's going to go. And it's just like, we're not made to see everything, especially if it's regarding someone else within our life. We're not made to see everything. Like, it has to be experienced how it comes. And so keep your faith strong, keep your body strong. And that's the number one thing that is coming forth. And I hope that helps, Mikkel. Okay. So I'm gonna go to Tina. Let's see, I'm gonna go to Tina. We're gonna do a couple quick readings. I'm gonna go to Tina. 926, 19. Okay. Tina, we got attitude 8. We got personal day 8. And we got a life path of 4, I believe. Let me just double check that is all right. 8, 8. And yep, that's right. Okay, cool. And then a cycle of. All right. So, Tina, I'm aware of. So, it's really important. We talked about like body and health, and just like emphasis on that for you is coming in body and health. And routine is really important. So if you found yourself within your typical routine kind of like slipping, or if you need new things within your routine because they don't work anymore, now's the time to really kind of define that. Because I'm aware of the power of routine. So like an attitude 8, you're an attitude 8. There's a need for perfectionism, and their need to get better, and just to see like all the details and aspects of things at times. And the best way sometimes for an attitude 8 to do that is to have something a little bit more systematic in life. And sometimes the old rules, the old patterns don't quite do justice. Okay. And this is like your day to day stuff that builds like you becoming who you want to be, like your daily habits. Um, it's not Sometimes when I talk to people, I'm like, this is like we're at a spiritual crossroads here. It's not anything like that. It's just like your routine needs to further support you and you actually have these goals in place. And I just want you to tweak them. I just want you to tweak them. Because with eights, as long as the energy is like systematic and building, it can be very powerful. Eights have a lot of weight on their shoulders in the way that they do things because they have high standards. So sometimes when things don't work, they go, "Oh, that didn't work." And then you just like push it aside. And you kind of get hard on yourself. So there's like these peaks and valleys of production and performance. And really, it's just a lot of tweaks are needed. And I do think you could be way, way, way more productive with just the tweaks. And you already are a very productive person. I actually do feel like that. It's just a reminder of that. Like, hey, you're actually fine. Just tweak it. So that's what I'm getting for you. I know it sounds very simple, but that's what's coming forward. And it's the truth. Just pull a card in relation to that or two. Okay, there needs to be a little bit more relaxation. Again, sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and there needs to be more relaxation and more patience. So it's okay if the answer doesn't come to you right away. I want you to have patience and faith in what you put your time and attention to if it feels right. A lot more patience with people, a lot more patience with opportunity and occurrences. And like, let's say you felt good about something, give it a month, don't give it 2 days. you know, give it a week, don't give it 1 day, don't give it 24 hours. There needs to be more time and faith involved because people's lives are kind of insane and people are kind of surviving. So someone could actually be 100% on the same um, ball as you or the same, idea, intention. It's just, yes, maybe they need to clean up their lives and focus a little bit. But that doesn't mean that's not a good match or a good connection or a good validation of, hey, like this person came into my life for a reason. Like we're of similar energy. So have a lot more patience and faith with people, even though it can be a little bit frustrating at times. Their energy will even out. Just have a little faith and patience. Okay. Well, give it enough, not a couple of days. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can feel it. I can feel it. And because of that, what came forth too is you kind of rack yourself, you nerve rack yourself, and that can really offset your physical health, right? That high mental energy can really offset, again, some of these systematic things that we talked about like sometimes just eating or going for a walk because you're just like I want it now, I want it now. So it's like have more patience and faith and trust in spirit, and also ground and really, as you're having trust, like take care of yourself, nurture yourself, and the rest will really come. And continue to tweak that and continue to infuse that into everything that you're doing, and you're going to strengthen yourself as a person rather than frying yourself as a person at times. I do think you're a very capable person. I'm just letting you know that these are little tweaks. Okay. I hope that makes sense as I'm saying it. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little esoteric, even though it's basic, but I hope that makes sense and resonates and sending you a lot of love and light. Um, oh, thank you, Mikhail. Thank you. Absolutely, absolutely. There was one more. Let's see, there was one more. I'm gonna pull one more really quick. KJ says, watching for the first time, would love a reading. Pretty please. Pretty please is always nice. Let's just do a quick one. Okay, cool. So, what's coming into play is I got the summer song card, and that's all about making sure you're having fun. Okay. And also being in a place where you can ignite your life for your best potential. And I feel like, meditation is something that you've been working on. It's something about like becoming more zen, becoming more focused. I feel like you've been working on that, but there's like a crossover of like, hey, we can make spirituality more fun. So it's like, I don't know if like they're encouraging yoga for you or like a meditation class or a sound bowl class. I don't know, but it's like some encouragement of having fun. But as you're having fun, you're going into balancing your mind and like finding some spiritual truths, and that you can really like unlock the unknown and unlock the universe in this way, and really kind of get yourself on a different playing field with your life, with the people that you're attracting, like romantically, and just it's like your next level of awakening is coming, but the way that you can find that is having fun. I do think you need to be having fun too outside of spirituality, just like living. And you can't find these things by being so serious at times, but it's the mixture of having fun outside of spirituality and having fun in spirituality, and you have this next awakening coming, and that seems really cool, and that's going to be activated. I really feel like in the summer, it's coming up soon. Actually could be happening sooner than that, but I get a lot of the energy like it's coming up, like definitely like May, June, July. Activate. So that's what I'm getting for you, KJ. Hopefully that validates some of the things that you've been wanting to try out and looking to do. And with that said, I'm just gonna pull one more card. Dan. Okay, this is the last one, everybody. I'm just feeling very inspired. Okay, Dan, I got the love card. Cool. Love yourself. It's as easy. Love yourself and love others. It's as simple and difficult as that. Boom. Meditate on that, Dan. That one was for you. And lean into the love. Lean into the love. Trust the love. If you're not sure, ask for a higher love. It's like that song, Send Me a Higher Love. Send me a higher love. Get into that vibration and see what happens. All right. With that said, everybody, I will see you next week. We have the reading show, of course, and we have the interview series. Now, our interview series is happening on Friday next week, and that's going to be with Todd Bates, the station owner, and going into his book and his life story. So that's going to be really cool. A lot of just emotional and beautiful revelations through that. And then for our Wednesday, we have Pete Orbea and Orbea. It's Orbea. Oh no, we're gonna figure it out. Sorry, Pete. And Paranormal Pete, and we're doing the reading show with Paranormal Pete. How cool is that? How cool is that? So we're gonna be diving into energies with both Pete and Todd next week and having a good time. So I'm sending you all lots of love. Please go with luck, light, laughter, and don't forget to live. See you next week, everybody. Bye.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.